So we got our helper to source us some banana trees, and we asked him where to put it. So he took us down here to the creek, and he's positioned them haphazardly on either side. He managed to get us some nice, let's call it teenage trees, like this one over here, which is even taller than I am. So they've been planted and they're ready to go. Also in the beginning of the week, we asked him to start clearing the staircase, which starts up there, and then he started going, and I really thought that it ended at this little bridge, but alas, it actually went all the way across the creek, which makes everything about the property a lot more accessible to us, so we can see all the different spaces that we need to attend to, and yeah, just really makes it a pleasure to be on the land. And then with our boundary line that's along the main road, which we don't really use to access the property, there wasn't really a defined boundary, so we just kept with what the locals use here. Here you can see a mature one. It's nicely grown, really demarcates the place. And this week we finally got a door on our electrical hut, as well as the council to come out and connect us. So we up and ready to start our pump on the land, so we'll be able to have water. The last thing that's needed on the electrical hut is just to get the wood elements varnished, and then we're all good to go. Rugged as it is, it's sturdy and will be there for many years to come. Also, with clearing these paths, we managed to see a little bit more of our land. We discovered we've got this temple that's obviously been cared for by the helper that's in the land and his wife, so we're extremely glad to have it here, and we'll definitely be establishing a similar one on the main section of land. And then another thing we had to do, because our electrical hut is on this side, which is where the main road is, where is the only power source, our main living will be on that side of the land, which is about 100 meters that way. So we needed to get the cable from this little hut to that section, especially where the borehole is. And very quickly our helper chopped down some of the bamboo we had on the land, and then made some holes, popped it in. We had a beautiful electrical cable line running all the way through our property. Cable is safe, and we've got yeah, and we've got water on the land now.
What you doing?
I'm trying to get this dry, because we've seen them dry. They're things that's unwanted, so we've got, even though this looks like, oh, we can maybe use it as ground cover, I can't really do that, because majority of this is the weeds that we've picked up. And as you can see over here, we've got a beautiful weed nest growing. So we're wanting to get this burnt, but every time I try to start, I think because it's so packed so high, it just keeps staying moist underneath and doesn't burn. So I'm going to flatten this up, let the sun dry it out, and then try burn it next week. So also something that we did this week, we busy designing the workshop area, which we're going to be using as our temporary housing while our main house is being built. So we measured it out and put it out, so the inner line is the building itself and the outer line is the roof, so we can see which trees it will be affecting. This means we're going to need to take out 2 mangosteen trees and 1 teak tree, and now we've also this week finalized that design, so we're waiting on costing for that, and then hopefully in the next 2 weeks we can break ground on this one. Within this workshop space, we thought it'd be great if we can double up the water tower that we're going to be having, and that's going to be about 6 meters high, and then the water tank on top of that. So that's going to be at the back of this building. So hopefully once this is up at its 2.8 meter height with the roof, you're hardly going to see the water tower, and that was one of the reasons for us putting it in the back of the structure. And then I've also been playing with a few ideas, or we have, of where exactly we want our natural pond / pool to be. We're really wanting to keep this large durian. Although it is split in half, it is still very healthy currently. and we do feel it forms quite a center part of this upper level land here. So we're needing to pull it a little bit further away to accommodate for the roots. But yeah, we're thinking of the deep section over here with a mound over there, which will bring the water in, and from there we'll be spouting over like in a little waterfall, coming down over here, making a lovely sound, all very visible from our house, which will be positioned over there. This will be built over here. We'll be creating a stream going this way into numerous ponds further down in the land, a total of 4 more ponds. One very exciting thing that we ended up getting done on the land, and that was getting a 30-meter portion of our boundary planted with some essentials like banana, papaya, buonaga, and a lot of all these different little smaller fruits and herbs, such as, I suppose, pineapple, we've got cassava, we've got different varieties of mint, taro, moringa, tamarind, things like that. And that goes all the way pretty much to the boundary, the front boundary of our land. So at the beginning of the week, we also got 11 bags of large compost, FrugiFarm compost, which was like top quality stuff. And then we selected a couple of the fruit trees that we thought could do with some loving. And then we cleared that out, put the compost on, covered it up, gave it some water. We haven't had much rain since. So every 2 days or so, we just throw on about 50 liters of water.